everybody. Yeah, in the class 12 biobotany, we are going to discuss about the chapter 1. The chapter 1 is about sexual and asexual reproduction in plants. In that topic, we are going to discuss deeply about sexual reproduction in plants. And what is actually the sexual reproduction? The sexual reproduction involves the production and the fusion of male and female gametes. So in the last class we discussed about the sexual reproduction of algae and bryophyte. They are nothing but the produced gametes. The fusion of the gametes, we can call it as what? A gametogenesis. The genesis means give birth. The gametes produced. That is the first step in the sexual reproduction, production of the gametes. In the second step, fertilization. What do you mean by that? Is fusion of male and the female gametes. The fusion of male and the female. That is the next step in the sexual reproduction. So for you have to be very clear with the understanding what is sexual reproduction. It involves the production. First of all, it has to produce the gametes, and it continues the work to fuse. Okay, thus the fertilization also helps to complete the sexual reproduction. In the lower form, the gametic fusion will occur in three different stages. As we know, in algae, it's very specific. And isogamy, anosogamy, and oogamy. Isogamy, the gametes are similar in their morphological structure, whereas anisogamy, they are dissimilar in their morphological and physiological characters. And whereas the eugamy, the ova would be in a bigger size. So regarding sexual reproduction, the flower is the reproductive part of the plant, and it composed of four different defined parts: calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Here I have drawn a diagram, LS of a flower, and here you would be very clear with the diagram. When you cut the flower, it will show these parts, and the corolla is designated by the petals, whereas the calyx is designated by sepals. The androecium club over here, 6 stamens are present, and here the ovary is filled with the ovules, and after fertilization the ovary becomes root and the ovule become seed. And here in the case of sexual reproduction, let me see what are the parts which is involved in the sexual reproduction. Let me counter out the sexual reproduction involves 3 different stages in their process, that is pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. Thank you. Continue pannappa. In the sexual reproduction, it has 3 different stages, that is pre-fertilization, fertilization, and the post-fertilization. Here we can see the pre-fertilization stages, structure and events. So what are the structure? The male gamete, that is the pollen grain, bear from the androecium, that is stamen, and the female gamete, that is bear from the ovary. Okay, and here we can see pre-fertilization, the hormonal and the structural changes in plants lead to the differentiation and development of floral primordium. See, it begins with the primordia of a flower. Okay, and then it undergoes some hormones, auxin, gibberellin will be formed from that, and it will induce the structure to change. The condensed shoot will be formed from that, and in which there is a differentiation between the male and the female gametes. Here, male reproductive part which is called the androecium. Here I have drawn a diagram of a stamen, single stamen. Okay, see, the single stamen would be representing the androecium. The stamen is numerous in the case of hibiscus that we dissected and see in the last lower classes, is it not? Here the stamen has 2 important parts, the anther and the filament, and the globose structure, which is the head of the stamen, which bear what? Numerous pollen grain. The pollen grain is the male gamete, whereas the anther is the male gametophyte. Okay, children, see, androecium, see, I'm repeating, male reproductive part will be representing by androecium. The androecium is composed of more stamens. Each stamen has 2 important parts, the anther and the filament. The anther is a globose structure which is the head of the stamen, and here it has composed of many number of pollen grain, which is called the male gamete. Pollen grain is also called the male gamete, whereas the anther is called the male gametophyte. Okay, and it bears more pollen grain, thus it induces the fertilization. Here the stamen, which are very potent and induce the fertilization. And let me see the development of the anther. Okay children, the anther, which is the globose part, we have dissected in the 10th standard and we see the slides and all for the practical, and here how it's developed, let me see. Okay, so the anther is the globose part. From the beginning, they develop like a homogeneous mass of cell, homogeneous mass of parenchymatous cells, and it induce the growth. After that it assumes a four-lobed structure. This is a very important character that the anther possesses. Okay, see children, some of the homogeneous structure, mass of cell, which are surrounded by the epidermis. Here I have shown the diagram, which are surrounded by the epidermis is the first growth. Very young stage the anther grows like that, and later on for some division it assumes a four-lobed structure, and after that the end the mature anther would be look like a butterfly shaped structure. Okay, so later on the four-lobed structure induces the growth to promote the hypodermal cells, a few rows of hypodermal cells or some only a single row will induce. Okay, hypodermal cell will induced, and they will be size enormous inside. They increase their size and becomes with the conspicuous nuclei. Here only they form the nuclei, and some of the cells in the hypodermal layer would become archisporium. Okay, the archisporial cell divided into, see, upon anticlinal division they divided into primary parietal cell and the primary sporogenous cell. The primary parietal cell undergo anticlinal and periclinal division, and they form 2 to 5 layers of cells, and each cell is going to divide into epidermis, endothelium and tapetum in the anther wall. And whereas in the primary sporogenous cell they undergo many number of division, and they form some of the cell in the primary sporogenous cell functions as a SMC. Why I have shortly written here, see, spore mother cell. Okay, spore mother cell is bear from this primary sporogenous cell, and they will be in clumps. More number of tissue will functions as a spore mother cell. Only some of the cell undergo meiotic division to produce spore tetrads. Okay, so here I have shown the diagram, spore tetrads. Okay, so spore tetrads will be fused with the anther, or else they separate out and form a pollinia. Here the development of the anther I will describe you with the help of the diagram. Here I have drawn. See, this is nothing but the butterfly shaped structure, tears of anther. The tears of anther we have studied in your lower class, and the tears of anther, this is a mature diagram I have drawn. The sporogenous mass of tissue will the sporogenous mass of parenchymatous tissue undergo the four-lobed structure, and this is the matured stage. They form all the tissue, and the old tissue will be function to produce the spore tetrads. Here the parts I have marked is the outermost core, that is the epidermis. The second layer is divided into middle layer, and the next to the endothelium, and here they produce the spore tetrad, that is the pollen grains. By disintegrating the stomium they will be dispersed out. That we can call, here we can have that process is microsporogenesis. What is microsporogenesis? Microspores give birth in the condition we can call, see, the stages involved in the formation of haploid microspore from the diploid microspore mother cell. See, what is microsporogenesis? The stages involved in the formation of haploid microspore from the diploid microspore mother cell through meiosis. That is called what? Microsporogenesis. The microsporogenesis undergo the formation of the The pollen tetrads, which are formed from the sporogenous tissue, sporogenous mother cell, and the pollen, they bear the pollen grains, and each pollen grain, is called the male gamete, and the male gamete is also called as microspore. We have three names for this. See, listen children: pollen grain, microspore, or male gamete. Okay children, they form from the microsporangium, which we can have the word anther. The anther is also called as microsporangium, and after dissemination, they clip on into a clubbed structure. They remain staying inside the anther itself or separated from that, and they form a club structure called the pollinia. It's also called as pollinium. It's a special feature in the case of Calotropis plants, and the pollinium has two parts. Here the clip or the clamp like structure which clipped here the two pollinia is called the carpusculum, and which has a stalk like structure called the retinaculum, and with both are together called as a translator, which is look like a inverted letter Y shaped. Okay, so which is look like the translator, look like the letter Y shaped. Okay, so in which the pollen grains are clumsy and present inside the pollinia. Okay, so it's a special feature in the case of Calotropis. Okay children, in the today's class we have discussed about the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction occurs in the plants, and what is the sexual reproduction stages? The sexual reproduction occur in three defined stages, that is pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. The pre-fertilization stages, we have the structure of male gamete, that is the pollen grain, and it formed from the anther. We have discussed it in the class. Thank you children.